Hey everyone, it's Ten Types, and today I'm going to be talking about the various trainers from Paradox Rift and how well they've been, how well they've performed compared to expectations, and compared to um, just like just how well they performed in general, and compared to other trainers and stuff like that. And so I was going to do a tier list and decided that honestly, like with trainers, there's three tiers. There's like really good, there's okay, and there's just like hot trash. So that's not as interesting in the tier list, but I think we need to talk about them in terms of context as well. So let's go through these trainers. I'll start with I kind of hate that they're like not organized. I mean they're organized by how they're on the set, which is like alphabetical order. Uh, let's see. Can I sort by type? What does this do? Let's go. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the tools. I feel like that's where I want to start. As the tools are, in my opinion, I mean they're the most. How many tools are there? Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine tools. That's just like insane. So first of all, the Curse Duster is obviously bad. If you're KO'd, you discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird control card. I guess it's better than Spirit Mask. I probably called Panic Mask Spirit Mask on their video. I don't know. I always do that. Anyway, it's like Spirit Mask. I'd say it's worse. Wait, is Spirit Mask your opponent chooses? Is that even in format? Yeah, it is. Okay. I thought I was like going crazy. Yeah. So if you damage, your opponent discards a card from the hand. They choose the card. But it's like you don't need to die to trigger it, which is nice. Overall, both those cards aren't good. So yeah, nothing crazy there. Did you know that Spirit Mask actually got banned from online tournaments because it had some like glitch? And I was actually gonna play it in a major tournament, then it got banned, and then I played like a good deck, and then I like did super well, because I didn't play my like weird Spirit. It wasn't a glitch. It wasn't a glitch based deck, but although I did find out some of the glitches, which I think led to people finding out more of the glitches, which it was funny. Anyway, yeah, Spirit Mask didn't work for a time. But that doesn't matter too much. Defiance Fest is fine. I guess it's good. It's seen playing mostly just control. Why is it not in any of the decks? I don't know. People definitely play Snorlax, right? Because like that was like Snorlax has been such a big deck. So I don't know what did they play in. I've completely misspelled it. Wait. So you can because Snorlax wants this. I think. I feel like it's good. Because in the deck. But I imagine they play. Okay, there we go. We can get the card breakdown. As you want some time to type a damage reducing tool, they could be running Pot Helmet though. Looks like they're not. I think Pot Helmet is. Limitless's search engine can be weird at times. But yeah, Pot Helmet's like fine. But I think you want one of them because Defiance Fest allows you to trap Pokemon that do damage, up to 30. Now it's up to 40 though with Defiance Fest, which is really nice. I think Defiance Fest is a very solid card, worth running in like Snorlax Control. I feel like it's been run in some Snorlax lists. Like I feel like it has been. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Like I played in Control, and I think it's good in Control. Obviously, Bravery Charm is like good, but there are times when Defiance Vest is just better. Not like all the time, not that often. Like this one's Luxurious Cape, which isn't even like it's obviously not Defiance Vest. I don't know. I think Defiance Vest is a good card. I don't think it's a great card, and I think it's performed at the level that we kind of expected. Same with the Curse Duster. Who thought Curse Duster was going to be good? Anyway, yeah. Moving on to Luxurious Cape. Luxurious Cape has honestly been very solid at OSFC playing. Like Gardevoir, yeah, and you could play in Snorlax as well. Yeah, it's seen a bunch of play. It gives you 100 more HP, and then you give up an extra prize, which is super weird. It kind of allows, what's it called? It kind of like it turns Gardevoir attackers into Zacian. It's very strange. Um, are also Screamtail, but mostly you could use for Screamtail or Baby Guardy. And for that, it's solid. And then obviously, and Snorlax gives you more HP. I mean, it gives like any single prize more HP. It's really interesting. It's kind of weird. But Luxurious Cape is a very solid card in certain decks, giving you more survivability, and it's just solid. I think, and it's performed I think better than people thought. I don't know. It was definitely a hard card that was like hard to predict how good it was because it's just so weird. It like changes the dynamic of your deck a bunch, but it turns it like into a normal deck as well. It's super strange. And I think it's still super strange, and still getting figured out. I think a lot of the cards are still getting figured out. More so the Pokemon like Roaring Moon, Iron Valiant, Iron Hands, I think are still getting figured out, but like Luxurious Cape is weird. So yeah. Next up, though, we got the Boost Energy Capsules. So Ancient Boost Energy Capsule giving you a bunch of HP and stopping special conditions, which is not useless, but not that useful either. The special conditions. The HP is very useful. It's notably just used in Roaring Moon. Oh, and for like enabling Brute Bonnet. But Roaring Moon isn't that good. I think it is good to include Roaring Moon, at least like one copy of it. Let's see, does this run? Yeah, it doesn't run Brute Bonnet, the Among Us guy. So Brute Bonnet, though, is pretty decent. With like Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, obviously good with Cloth and Hisuian Electrode V to like boost damage and poison yourself as well. It's like really weird. If you haven't played Cloth Electrode V, Hisuian Electrode V, I'd 100% recommend you try it. If you have like extra resources, Hisuian Electrode V is a little bit expensive. The rest of the cards aren't that expensive. I definitely recommend you pick up Cloth and Brute Bonnet and the Ancient Boost Energy Capsule. As in the future, I imagine it will become good. Right now, the future and ancient like quote unquote packages aren't like packages. They're not like they don't work together really. But I think in the next set, not like mini set, but the main set, or maybe the next main set after that, we will see these future and ancient like packages become full packages, hopefully. But we'll see. Then. Let's see. The future one. The future one's been honestly not very good, which is I think a big surprise. I think it's a good card, but the attacking options don't like you're looking for it to push through breakpoints, which it does with Iron Valiant, but Iron Valiant's not a very good attacker, and it doesn't really help push through like breakpoints with Iron Hands. Like you're looking at like damage breakpoints like 200 to 220, which it does for Iron Valiant. Kind of it does. Iron Valiant can still ping to do that, but it's nice. But then the free retreat's what it's mainly used for, which is really nice with Iron Valiant. Overall, I think Future Boost Energy Capsule is a decent tool. I think it might see some more play in the future. It's very good. So even when it's only being used for like half its value, it's still very good, which is pretty crazy. It's just so strong. But it hasn't seen a ton of play, so I'd say it's underperformed. I do expect it to be good in the future. It doesn't have a lot of good partners either right now. No, that's the big thing. And then we got the TM. So TM Blindside is bad. It's like a snipe tool. It's not very good. It's the only one that's 3 colorless. There's a reason people don't really play it. TM Turbo Energize has flopped, I think. I thought it was going to be super good. Hasn't really seen much play at all because the cards it pairs with are like high energy attackers, which just generally aren't very good. So yeah, TM Turbo Energize, a bit of a sad story here. Not particularly good. But then I think it has potential. I think it will see some play at some point. I think Arven is very good right now because of the TMs, because of Force. It was okay with Forest Sealstone, but now with these 9 new tools, not all of them, but some of them, it's just so good. TM Evolution's been all right. People have been playing it with Charizard. You could play it with the Goldengo. You could play it with what else do you have? You could play Gardevoir. I think it's good in Gardevoir. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I think it's good there. You can play it with, let's see. I mean, you can play it in all sorts of things. But it's mostly good in like more awkward evolution-based decks that still have that like want to run Arven. So it's a bit of a niche category, but it's a good card. And it kind of encourages you to run Arven, which encourages you to run Battle VIP Pass, and you got this big rabbit hole of arguably unfun cards. Well, Arven's not that unfun. I used to be a hater of Arven, but yeah, I think Arven's like good now. But then Battle VIP Pass, I think a lot of people hate. That will be rotating soon as well. Yay. But it's very good with Arven. Anyway, TM Evolution, solid card. So it's performed about at how everyone thought it would be, which is fair. And TM, I should say, I said like TM Turbo Energize flopped. I was hyping it up. I think some other people are hyping it up as well. I don't know. I think it wasn't as hyped as TM Evolution. TM Devolution, though, I don't think was the most hyped. I think it was pretty consistently the 3rd most hyped, maybe 2nd, but it's been the best. It's been like by far the best. You can see wow, this is a much more diverse deck pool than I was even expecting. I knew it was quite cool, but this is really fun. So you seeing it play in Lost Zone, in Iron Valiant, in Miraidon, in Charizard, and Urshifu, and Mew. So I'm playing Mew, and Giratina, which is Lost Zone. But It's really good. It's just really, but it's not like insanely good, but it's potentially good in any type of deck. If you're playing a rare candy deck and you get devolved, if you get two rare candy Pokemon devolved, that's really bad for you. That means if you could use your two other rare candy to evolve them again and run out of rare candy, or you might not even play for rare candy, so you might not be able to get either of them up. If you're running stage one, like a basic stage one, stage two with TM evolution, it doesn't matter at all. It's essentially completely useless unless you catch them out in the first turn of the game, which it's moderately useless, but or moderately useful, but not it's still not great. But and against just stage one decks, it's useless. But against stage two decks, well, it's not useless against stage one decks, but it's not as useful. The only reason it can be useful against evolution in terms of damage dealing, though, is if you deal damage and then you devolve them, which can actually be decent, and can be the only way to deal with certain really big Pokemon. Charizard EX going down from 330 to like 90 or whatever, depending on which Charmeleon you're playing, is a really, really big deal. Obviously, you don't take as many prizes. It's kind of like reverse Luxurious Cape. I don't know. That's kind of weird to say. Like reverse Luxurious Cape because you take less prizes, do less damage, and it's your opponent. But so I guess it would be reverse Luxurious Cape. But yeah, Cube Devolution has been the best one, and it's really cool, and probably my favorite one as well. Really fun, really hard to use, but really good. Now the items. So Techno Radar and Snorlax Stall have not been very good. Techno Radar is not completely useless by any means. It starts out Iron Valiant. That is fine. But yeah, how many copies has it been played in IRL? Obviously in online it's a little different, but yeah, just like a one of in certain decks, it's not that good. Snorlax Stall has unsurprisingly not been good. I think no one expected this to be good. It doesn't really work. It needs to be in your opening hand, which is very niche. But then Earthen Vessel has been good. I think it's been about as good as everyone thought, which is very, very good. It's insane in Chien-Pao. I think it could see playing Guardy actually. Then you got Roaring Moon. You got Lugia. Lugia's like so crazy that now Lugia's playing basic energy. You got a wide variety of really interesting things. But overall, I think that it's just yeah, you got some really interesting uses of it as its search energy. It describes it just really good. Then Countercatcher. Countercatcher was honestly like breezed past by some people. I breezed past it. I'll say that not because I didn't think it would be good, but because I just a reprint, right? But it's so good. It's like I think it's almost definitely better than Earthen Vessel. You could make an argument that it's not, but it probably like look at wait. Oh, I was like, why are there so many so many decks play this? But like no, which are the new decks? I think the new decks start here. A lot of decks play this. Is this actually yeah, this is a standard deck played at LAIC. So a good chunk of decks played it. This many is a bit of an exaggeration. These are older decks, expanded decks, and a wide variety of things. But yeah, Countercatcher has been insane in the past and is insane. Come on, get back to the decks. The standard deck. Where are the standard decks? There we go. It's like super good now. It's good in essentially every deck. Not every deck, but most. You can probably find pretty much any top deck running it. You can like play it in Zora. You can play it in like fun little things like this. And yeah, it's just very good. It's Gust if you're down. It's an item Gust. Item Gust is like so broken. Like obviously, Item Gust is just so good. If it's just Item Gust, and it's essentially just Item Gust for some decks, and it's like it's literally changed the meta so completely. Now that we see Snorlax Stall being a top, I'd say it's a top 10 deck. You can't really see it, but like yeah, I'd say it's a top 10 deck. I mean, in Play Limitless, it's a top 10 deck, which is crazy. Like it's so good. It's just like broken. It's not like broken, but it's really good. It's very annoying and super solid with Countercatcher, which is just insane. Anyway, we can move on for Countercatcher to the supporters, and most of these haven't been good. Larry, no, Mela, Norman, Parasol. What's Parasol Lady? Oh yeah, that's bad. All bad. Rika, I think is also bad. Rourke, I think, is also bad. Chantal is also bad. Oh yeah, that's the Gust. Wait, what's Larry? Oh, Larry's like Search. I think the best one of these has been Tulip, which has not seen much play. But you can play it in Gardevoir, but more importantly, you can play it in super good in Xatu. Like it's so good in Xatu. Xatu hasn't been very good, but Tulip is insane in that deck if you wanted to play that deck. And then, but it hasn't been that good. Sada's and Turos that have been good. I'd say Sada's has a been worse. Let's see, which has been played more in IRL. I wish Play Limitless had this data as well. Yeah, so Tauros has been played more. It's obviously more versatile. It's an interesting alternative to Cheryl, but it's also like Switch. So it's a really good. Sada's is okay. I mean, it's good in Roaring Moon. It's important there. It's also good in. Wait, are there any other good? No, I guess it's just good in Roaring Moon. But yes, it's a very good card, but the ancient Pokemon aren't that good right now. And they're pretty linear and boring, and so Samus hasn't been that good. Not a bad card. It's certainly been decent, but arguably a bit of a flop because like Roaring Moon's been a bit of a flop. And then we got Professor Taro's scenario. This card is very solid because it's as I said, it's a switch, it's a heal. It has downsides. You like discard your stuff. Like you lose energy, which can be really bad at times. Not in Guardy, but in other decks. But it's a Snorlax. Snorlax is so good. Tauros is a counter to Snorlax, and that's just why it's so good. It's not the only reason, but it's part of the reason. Also, why does this person play the deck? Oh, because they have Pidgeot. This is kind of cool, actually. Like Snorlax can be interesting. Like this isn't that interesting, but it's somewhat interesting. But most of the time, Snorlax is not interesting, obviously. But Tauros is a cool card. It allows you to do some fun stuff. Counter to Snorlax allows you to reuse Charizard EX's ability. The energy goes to the discard, which, as I said, is good in Gardevoir. Like if you pennied before, that would just suck if you like pennied your Zacian, which people would do. They do that because it might be important, but it sucks still. And then we got Medical Energy. Medical Energy is not good. Obviously, it's not seen any play. You could play it in colorless Lugia or like regular Lugia too, but like don't. It's not very good. Healing 30 once, like it's potion, but like arguably it's worse than potion. So yeah, overall though, best cards are by far Counter Catcher, Earthen Vessel. TMs have been pretty good. TM Devolution's been very solid, and then I'd say Tauros. So the top four are Counter Catcher, Earthen Vessel, Team Devolution, Tauros. I think in that order, that's probably what I'd say. And I think that's pretty clear. I don't think that's any hot takes either with that. But I'm interested in hearing your thoughts down below. And of course, deck suggestions if you have with some of these like fun cards. And some of them are like really silly. Some like Larry, like why do you play Larry? Larry's funny, but don't play Larry. But overall, I feel like set is super cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more TMs. I know we're seeing one more called I think it's called Crisis Shot, which is kind of a weird name, but it's like a comeback attack, which is really cool. It's kind of niche, but it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I think it will see some play. And then yeah, I hope we see more in the future. Actually, let's take a look at the how much time we have. No, I think yeah, we can look at the next set. All translated unreleased cards. We're looking for the trainers. Let's see. What even are these? Oh, are these cards that okay, this is not what I was expecting. I don't think we've come to the right place, but I don't think we're getting any of these cards. What are these cards? I think I've dug into the weird places of Limitless, which is not what I was looking for. Oh, Moonlight Hill. Are we getting that? That's a card for Guardy. I guess this doesn't have the stuff we need, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing. I'll be doing more content about like this and some other, hopefully more interesting content in the future as well. If you enjoyed, as I said, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'm excited to see you in the next video.